Hey there, Dani K coming to you from Dani K Gym and Wellness. Today's tip comes to you from Kathleen. She's a member at Dani K Gym and Wellness. She wants to know if she should get a weight belt and if or when she should get a weight belt. Me personally, I think it's a personal preference until I tell you what I'm going to tell you. Two, there's, trainers, lifters, everybody is going to disagree. It's basically pretty much an opinion. And nothing is wrong and nothing is right. But I'm going to tell you my opinion on why I say no to a weightlifting belt for the most part. Let's say you do not have a back issue, okay? And you see other people using a weight belt. And for those that don't know what a weight belt is, it goes around, it's kind of like a thick belt that goes around the lower part of your back, or, the small part, the lower back. So when you do squats, it's supposed to protect your back. So my thing is, and the reason that I am against the weight belts is if you don't have a bad back, I'm trying to think of the right words to kind of put this out there. So when you're doing squats, your legs play, obviously, your butt plays, your glutes, just everything from the waist down. Well, also your core plays in the lift. So if you're stabilizing, if you're having a belt stabilize your core, then that's part of certain muscles that aren't being used per se and used in that lift. So again, I've said it, the more muscles used in a lift, the more calories you're burning. And we want our core strong. So if we don't have a back issue and we use a belt, then our back is not getting used. Our abs are not getting it. They are in a little bit of a sense. Let's say if we did not have a back issue and we did not use the belt, but we squat and then all of a sudden we feel something in our back. With the belt compressing, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to feel that you're doing anything wrong to your back, or you're not lifting, you're not going to feel like you're lifting wrong. So the belt then hinders you. So then when you take the belt off, or and you might not feel it right then and there because you have the adrenaline going because you just squatted whatever you squatted. So, you take the belt off a couple hours, damn, my back hurts, Well, if you felt it, if you didn't have the belt on and you squat and you felt your back kind of tweak a little bit, then one, you either know that your form is not right or the weight's too heavy. So for me, if you have to use assistance to lift a heavier weight, so you're not hurting something, you're going to end up hurting something. Guys, they'll use the knee straps so that they can squat heavy. And so, I'm like, well, okay, dude, so why are you wrapping your knee like that? Well, because if I squat like this, my knee's going to pop out of joint, or my kneecap's going to blow off, or whatever. Well, doesn't that tell you not to do that? Duh. I mean, I don't know. I'm almost 46 years old. And I want to listen to my body. I don't want to, wrap myself up in gauze and then do a lift. And then when the gauze comes off, then I'm like, oh my God, I'm in pain. So no, I don't believe in weight belts. Now, if you do have a back issue and you use the belt to protect your back, but yet you're smart enough to know that the weight is okay. It's not a heavy weight, so you're thinking, you're using it to protect your hurt back. Okay. But if you do have a hurt back, maybe, heavy squats isn't the way to go. There's other things to do. Leg press where it protects your back. So my thing is, there are so many different ways that you need to listen to your body. And if we wrap ourselves up and wrap the knees up so we can squat heavy so we don't blow our kneecap off, that doesn't make any sense to me. We put the weight belt on. Why do we need the weight belt? Because we see Billy Bob wearing a weight belt and he's big and strong, so that maybe I feel like I need to wear a weight belt. I've lifted for, you know, a little over 23 years, and I've never once used a weight belt, and I've never once wrapped my knees. I've never once squatted 500 pounds, true. And I never want to squat 500 pounds. I have, however, stopped squatting heavy, because when I did squat heavy, my most, I think it was like 250, 260, I compacted my spine. I shrunk. I was 5'1¼ at one time in my life, and now I'm only 5 foot. So, you know, it's compacted my spine. I do have some, you know, spine, you know, issues, vertebrae issues and so forth. So I'm going to continue to protect my body and lift in proper form and proper ways. So I'm not going to wrap shit up just so that I can lift, heavy. You know, but you know what? I mean, if that's your thing, if you're a power lifter and you're watching this, don't come down on me. If that's your thing and you're wrapping your knees so you can squat heavy, that's okay. I'm just saying, for the, you know, the worker-outer, like at my gym or, you know, any other gym that's around, that they're just trying to get in shape or trying to, you know, see results or whatever. I personally would stay away from the back belt, the lifting belt, the wrapping of the knees and all that stuff. And another thing I'll tell you is, if you're squatting and you feel that your back is tweaking or whatever, and then you check your form, you ask me if, you know, if your form is good, and I kind of tweak your form a little bit, and now your back doesn't hurt, then you're doing it correctly. But if you have that belt on, you're not knowing if you're doing it correctly or not, because you're not feeling anything until maybe you take the belt off or later that day. So that's what I'm saying. Another thing is, if in the gym you learn proper form about how to squat down and using, you know, your glutes and your quads, and, you know, not necessarily, you know, like bending down at the waist to pick something up. How many times have, you know, we've been in the house and moving furniture or whatever, and we bend at the waist, lift up the couch, and we're like, oh, my back hurts, you know? Because you're not learning how to squat. You're not learning how to do a proper lift. So the belt and the wraps and stuff like that, to me, personally, sometimes can hinder a proper form. So me, I don't use the belt, and I know that if I'm going to bend down there and help somebody move a couch, I'm going to do, like I would in the gym, a squat, because it's I want to say it's mentally in me. It's you know, I've formed that muscle memory to, oh, I have to bend down and pick something up, so I'm going to, you know, utilize the perfect form squat to bend down and lift the couch up with my legs, not bending over and lifting up with my back. So I hope that makes sense. Kathleen, if you don't have a back issue, and you have good proper form, and you're not hurting your back isn't hurting when you're squatting, I personally would say don't do the weight belt, the lifting belt, you know, because sometimes that can just make your back muscles weaker, because you're not utilizing, you know, your core, you know, your lower back and your ab muscles to actually do the squat, to do the lift. So, you know, I hope I kind of made that, you know, clear, and hope that helped, you know, in giving you my personal reasons and my personal opinion as to why I feel, you know, you shouldn't do, you know, the lifting belts and stuff. If you're doing it for, you know, Olympic lifting, and you're going to be in the Olympics, and, you know, you have to do it, then that's a whole nother story. But I'm just talking about the people that are in the gym, everyday people that are in the gym, just trying to get their fitness on, you know, just trying to, you know, learn proper lifting and techniques and not hurt themselves. I would say do it proper. If the belt's on there and you're squatting and you don't feel that you're tweaking your back, but with the belt off you feel like you're tweaking your back, then if you feel that tweak, then you're gonna perfect the squat. If you don't feel it, you're gonna continue to hurt yourself. So that's my tip. I say no on the lifting belt. You know, utilize the muscles and make them stronger. And as these are stronger and you can lift heavier squats, then you can lift heavier squats. But if you're putting a lifting belt on your, you know, on your back to protect your back so that you can lift heavier, and without it you'd screw your back up, that to me says you shouldn't do it. So you shouldn't lift that heavy weight yet. Work up to it. So I hope you liked it. I hope I made it clear. I hope I made you guys understand that it was my personal opinion, not anybody else's, and I'm not saying anybody is wrong or incorrect for wearing lifting belts or the straps around the knees or anything like that. I'm not saying anybody's wrong for doing it. I'm just telling you why I personally don't agree with it. So I hope that helped, Kathleen, and stay in tune, stay informed, stay motivated. Bye.